Oh, thing. There you are.
Yeah, are we good?
Yeah,
I was
totally. It might
frozen,
the
yeah.
Wi-Fi froze or something. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's have you do a little introduction about yourself, your work, maybe a little bit of how you would describe your creative output for those that don't know you or haven't heard you say it before.
Okay, sure. Uh, well, if I had it's a tough one, but I think my style has changed through the years, as everyone that is in the constant search of uh, yes, ideas and art and whatever. But nowadays, I feel it's more like driven, complex, and intuitive.
That's
That
great.
would define,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's three really cool words. I know that there's a lot of like intuitive background in your work. I think that like dreams involved, you write and that you really like meditate on the output and the process a lot, which I think is really cool. Do you feel like a lot of your work is really self-reflective or kind of based on experience?
It is like 100%. I think so.
That's
Yeah, at least yes, yeah, it's very personal. Maybe the outcome, because I'm a human being, maybe the outcome some people can relate to, but yes, it comes from my own experience on life. So
I
yeah.
love that. Are you working on anything right now in particular?
I am working on three main themes right now that I'm exploring. They are mostly my all my personal exploration end up in these three themes, but it takes uh, different outcomes or different way or different stages of those exploration. One is the water,
Mm,
the other is the body in its very complex and intricate ways of you have to approach to that concept. And the third one is post physics. It's something I've been working on for the last 2.5 years now, and it's a term to define some experiences, like when you have an interaction with someone or something happens, your mind like curate certain elements that help you rebuild that experience, right? So I work to put morphologies and colors and yeah, animation and atmosphere to those elements, working on mostly on the morphologies. So would be practically putting morphologies to feelings or the notion of the shape of a shoulder or a word or a plan even. So it's a bit abstract, but I think it's more or less putting morphologies to all these elements your mind curates of those experiences you have in life.
cool. Yeah, I've never heard of the post physics and morphologies, but that is totally yeah, I love kind of the deeper meaning, the personal meaning, like the basis of an artist's work. I mean, you are obviously like a creative through and through, and a strong base is something that everyone strives for. Um, how did you, or how long has it been since you kind of like came to your own style, or do you remember the process, or has this been kind of like a long journey, getting to the point you are now with the work that you're producing? I know that it's kind of a hard thing for anyone to find their style or their reason for working, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's because I'm like older now. So the journey of life itself
Mm,
brought me to so many stages of my art practice. And I would say that at the beginning, I had like two different worlds in my head. One is the one that wants to please the world, to communicate very specific things, and that is learning that those things are to be expressed in that certain way, otherwise nobody's going to understand, and things like that, to responding to the world. And the other one is like, okay, I'm not even sure how to do that. Like, so I am just gonna do whatever I think it's loyal to my to the way I see and feel stuff. And I think that twist and that shift in my career, uh, maybe 3 years ago, uh, and progressively happening, can define a really new way of approaching the way I can do art. Like, know, I don't know what people can think about it or how, I mean, everybody's its own world and approaching art from different perspective and space and time. So I just got everything. I just went like, and I would create from my own and whatever outcome that means, not centering so much in the outcome, but in the process.
Yeah, totally. I mean, process is a big part of it for, I think, a lot of artists. And there can be a lot of noise and like outside elements and expectations for social media and peers. And, it's such a hard, different process for making and showing work now than it was, 10 years ago before the onset of social media and sharing. And it's like you feel like you have to create for the public or something. But, work is always from you and what you want to produce or make for yourself, not even necessarily for anyone else's other eyes or thoughts. But yeah, that's a hard thing to kind of like just come back to like your own work and making work for, your own reasons. And I'm assuming that 3D and digital work is your biggest creative outlet, but I'm sure you have other creative outlets. I mean, you seem like you're just like living such a beautiful creative life. And as a creative, like you can find travel to be a creative process and cooking and the body and exercise and like, I'm sure that you can resonate with that. But what other like creative processes are part of your bigger process?
Super interesting. I would say writing nowadays is very important for me because I do a natural biography every day because I just write my thoughts and in my journal, I put a link to something I like, and then I put a picture, and then something about that diagram of my life makes me realize who I am over time when I go back, right? So I would say writing is crucial right now for that. But also I feel I can do art from everything because, for example, right now I have an artistic project I started with a genealogy tree.
Mm.
So I am investigating like my ancestors and stuff and doing some, I don't know, witchcraft works about that and connected with intuition and bioenergetics and then biodance and all kind of
Well,
stuff that can connect to that. And I think the practice I have through all these years is what give me the know-how or how to convert that into an artistic project. So maybe the outcome would be a performance. For example, I was thinking like I have a one of my uncles was a really good musician, very
mm,
contemporary, like visionary musician, and there's no live like recording of his music. So I found the partitures, like the music there,
well,
and I thought maybe it's cool to have them played by like the instruments actually because I like music that it is so alive in the moment. So maybe I can bring him to life with the concert, and I'm organizing kind of that and a performance and I put visuals of course and stuff. So yeah, basically whatever. Also, I love to do like my own outfits and incarnate characters and maybe someone I know or something I remember or it's related to post morphology. So also fashion design will be like the world, but so it's writing, a family, it's outfits, you name it.
yeah,
I don't know.
I know it's everything always say that like being a creative is like an all-encompassing practice. It's like in every part of your day. It doesn't like turn off. Like art never turns off for me. Like, you know, the creative instinct and like the inspiration, it never goes away. It's just like it's in everything. And even in the process of like exploring your genealogy tree and the way you're
Yeah,
exploring, you're thinking through it, like whether or not you're producing music from that or you're producing something, even just like the process of and collecting and you know what you're
exactly.
for you for your process and for what you get out of that. It's so interesting. It's always just like we're just collecting things that will somehow come out for you know future work anyway, whether we want to or not. It's like part of it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's life. I think it's the way you see life. It's in our artistic and creative way. So yeah,
Yeah,
everything is a stimulus.
yeah, definitely. That's so cool. Are you currently showing your work anywhere or want to talk about any exhibitions you have coming up or NFTs available or any showcases that that you're excited about?
I am showing art. Well, I was showing in Korea, and then in permissionless, and then in Art Basel next December, and yeah, that's good. And also, I just had a drop with Lucidia from
Oh,
Render,
cool.
and there's a couple of pieces still available, just a few of them there. So definitely check it out because it's called post morphologies. So it's kind of the thing I was explaining earlier. Has to do with that. There's three pieces, and there will be. I'm working on a fourth piece to be finished by the end of the month.
Cool.
That will be for the collectors of the three pieces. So I think there's four pieces left or something like that of each. So definitely check it out. Lucidia
Amazing.
XYZ.
Yeah, I love what he's done with that platform and I love that you're a part of it. And of course, Art Basel is coming up here in December
Mhm.
in Miami, which is always a fun, exciting time and an opportunity to be able to purchase and acquire and see amazing work from all over the world. So that's super exciting. And where if you could show anywhere in the world, is there somewhere that you're is like a dream space for you or a dream location? Or I know you've shown a lot, so it's a big question.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm open. I'm open. There's so many ways of like new platforms from digital art, and I think it's gonna be like evolving so much too. So I'm super curious of the shapes it takes for us to show our work. It's an exciting moment for digital art.
Yeah.
Like
No,
it feels like in the beginnings, and but then not. So we're ongoing. I know the Sphere in Las Vegas is really the big thing now, so that would be awesome.
yeah, they launched with Rafik Andal, who is an amazing
Yes.
Japanese artist, and yeah, stay tuned for what goes on there. I think that they'll be showing some really cool stuff in the future. Um,
Okay.
no, no comment, no comment. Um, but yeah, let's talk about what you want to get into. I know you tapped on into fashion. I know you do a lot of, you know, kind of personal work. Is there anything that you want to manifest, you know, for the future of your work or partners or collaborators or themes? I know you're kind of deep in your current morphology and post physics, if I get that right. But yeah, let's manifest some stuff. What do you want to do coming up?
Um, well, like I was saying, I think this concept could take a lot of shapes, but I could see it working of like on performance art and maybe yeah, I don't want to like say so much because I have like many many threads. But yeah, maybe performance art and
Cool.
sculpture and in real life, like physical art would be like the best way to like for next step for me.
Totally.
Yeah.
When you start a project, do you start with writing or do you start with imagery, or is it like mainly thoughts and then it goes straight to digital? I know everyone kind of works differently.
I would say 70% is writing first, but I've noticed because when you ask me this, I just observe my own process and I'm analyzing as I
Yeah,
talk.
totally.
So it's not that I say, well, I will write about this idea. It's just like I'm writing and then I have to run to the computer, right? And then I go back to my laptop where I write and write a little more. And maybe I have a headache and then I put it there in my journal. And that gives me another idea, like what's this headache? What's the shape? What's the feeling? What's the color? So I go to the computer to name an example. So it's like, yeah, I would say writing is like the most, like words for me are really easy to conceptualize.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. No, that's, I mean, everyone kind of has a different process and approach. And now that we're talking process, do you want to talk briefly just about your, programs or what you find works best for you, or kind of the technical stuff on how you set up your digital process?
Yeah. Well, I keep using the good old Cinema 4D for everything. And I'm really used to it, but I wish I could learn Blender because it's like, yeah, for me, it's much better than cinema. Well, yeah, I'm used to it already, and I of course use ZBrush for modeling, and I lose myself there because yeah, so many possibilities. Like modeling is my preferred thing. Yeah, my favorite thing. And yeah, I don't know. Like then maybe After Effects to post production and stuff. But yeah, mostly Cinema 4D and ZBrush.
Cool. Standard stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I never think it's late to learn new programs, but I do think it gets harder.
Yes, definitely to find the time. Yeah.
Totally.
I
Totally.
I think you're a better learner, but you don't have time.
I'm
So
so I find, I mean, maybe it is time. It's like hard to focus, it's hard to retain, it's hard to go back to school.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, maybe.
yeah, I I dipped into Blender a long time ago, and I'm by no means a 3D artist at all, but I just remember being like, oh my God, this is a new language. This is a new world I have to like discover, like all,
Yeah,
experience all around. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, it can be a lot. Do you have travel plans coming up? I know you just got back, but I feel like you've been kind of on this constant journey of being in motion, which I love, and I feel like
Yeah.
there's always good creative that comes from being in motion, though, too. I feel like that's always
Yes.
time.
I really like my routine at home. Like I've learned to love it because of the traveling. So when I'm here, I'm really here, like really quiet and going to workouts and then visiting my mother, and everything has to be like square. But then I will travel through all my country because I'm going to do tantra
Mm.
retreats and meditation stuff. And my country has so many landscapes here, things happening there. So that would be awesome. And then I probably go to Basel in Miami in December.
Amazing. Well,
I'll probably see you there.
I hope to see you somewhere. I don't have plans to be there yet, but everything always kind of starts now, goes
Yeah.
up last minute. So we'll see. I've gone probably 10 times, and so this would be the 11th. But it's always fun.
Yeah, it's
What
super fun.
do you have any advice for kind of things that have helped your journey? Is travel like a crucial part of your process? What advice would you give to someone that is hoping to, elevate to your level, or, find their own creative freedom? What are some things that really help you?
What helped me definitely was doing this, like silence everything and see what's me about. And then, of course, like I cannot recommend enough meditation and all this kind of stuff that allows you to emerge, to yeah, to silence all the noise and just see whatever you have to offer to this life, or how can you be like the channel? How is that you are the channel you are in this earth? How is your particular perspective? And it's not very complicated. It's just meditation. It's not, we sometimes we complicate too much the connection to
Mm.
ourselves. And it's not, it's like, it's probably being grateful every day and finding things to be grateful, like, and I don't know, connecting to yourself, friends and family, and if you have pets, like your dogs and cats, and go out, and I don't know, that helped me a lot.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can definitely
yeah,
with that. I feel like that surface pressure of just like making, creating is like super
yeah,
stressful, and it's like none there's so much down here, literally,
mm,
that yeah, I can totally agree with you on just like this recentering. Meditation is a practice that I do also. Yoga, body, physical activity, just like so many things
yeah,
that
move.
you like making, like finding the balance of all of it to be able to make the stuff that, comes from you. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's great advice. It doesn't all just come from, your brain and your hand. It's like
No, no,
it's a lot.
no.
It's a lot of that. And yeah, so I think that in terms of inspiration, it's like great to see what everyone's doing and kind of be aware, but shutting all of that off and like, refocusing on your own output is huge too.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and it sounds like you get a lot of your inspiration just like kind of from yourself and from your personal experience. And do you seek out inspiration? Is that something that you like look for in gallery shows or travel or the nature, or is it more something that kind of like feelings from past experiences with your work?
Well, I think it's me articulating all that you mentioned, like me in galleries, me in nature, me with people. And that's the alchemy. Inspiration can be like everything's inspiration, but it's me through
Yeah,
that alchemize that
yeah,
into inspiration. I think so. At least I see it
yeah,
that way.
yeah. I love kind of in your environment now. Like I hear the birds, I hear the dogs. Like it's
Yeah.
such a nice, like grounded. I don't know, just you know,
Yeah,
natural.
that's because I live in a small town in Buenos Aires. I don't live in the city. I love
Yeah,
cities, and when I travel to cities because I need that stimulus. Because nothing else happening around here, like other than nature and my dogs and my family. But it's really good to create and to like settle up and settle down and yes, I have this rest and relax moments to then fly to go to various stimulus in the cities and the noise and then come back. It's a good pulse.
yeah. No, I love that. It's like the on and the off. I think
Hmm.
everyone does that too, for sure. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and you are in, for everyone that's asking, a small town outside of Buenos Aires.
it's called Chascomús,
Okay.
and it's 2 hours from the big city Buenos Aires, and it's really nice. I have a lake, 30 meters.
Mm,
There's a huge lake here, so I go with my dogs, and the proximity of the water for me is very inspiring too.
mm.
And now it's spring, so because we're south, so now it's spring and everything seems better. I hate cold, so I'm so happy that summer's coming.
I know. I love when things start to get warm. So
Yeah.
a lovely time to come down there. I love Buenos. Um,
Yeah, come.
no, I should. I should. I love it. So I know you spend a lot of time digitally and you spend a lot of time not digitally. What are your thoughts, or have you taken advantage of, or are you totally pushing away from the whole like AI movement with not just art, but with, everything that it could do? Or is it something that has helped you? Is it something that you do with sketching ever, or is it something that you kind of push away?
No, I don't push it away. I love what I'm seeing in AI. I love it. Like I really appreciate the brain stimulation. It's just that I didn't have time to dive in. Like I did, like at the beginning with Mid Journey, I used to feed it my dreams at night. So and it was fun and weird because the images that gave me were very similar to the ones in my dreams and so trippy. But definitely I'm really behind on the subject and I'm not proud of it. And I will dive in from my own perspective. Why not? It's another tool. But for now I'm just enjoying what I'm
Oh,
seeing. So mind
totally.
blowing.
Oh, it's totally mind blowing, and it seems kind of endless. And as it, continues to be tangible and evolve, and yeah, it's totally fascinating. But I think,
Yes.
you know, learning it and kind of taking advantage of ways that it could be a source of, I don't know, assistance
Yeah.
or inspiration or just thought provoking.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Also, I think it's like you are communicating with another species.
mm,
Like, what is this machine interpreting and communicating with me? Like, I really appreciate that. It's just I didn't have time to do it.
yeah, totally. I can totally agree with that too. Um, so in recent alien news, there was the Mexico City sit down. Did you watch that?
No,
Oh my God. Well, anyway, one
I would
there
search.
was two being bodies that were uncovered from Peru. Um, and they were small. They were like 2 or 3 feet tall, and they looked just like ET. So I don't know if ET or if these guys came first, but that's my recent alien news update from Mexico City.
I
They're
love that. I would check.
testing to see, and everything is coming up as otherworldly. Um,
Mm,
but there's,
definitely. Definitely. I will check it out.
yeah, totally. I recommend it. Getting into some
Do you
excerpts.
love alien stuff? I love alien
Uh,
stuff.
I'm curious about like the whole vastness of possibility. You
Yeah,
know,
of course.
that could go in outer space. It can go in the ocean. It can go in other dimensions. There's so much possibility out there that I think is cool to realize for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and be open to.
yeah, and definitely be open to. I think it's kind of endless. Um, yeah, totally. So tell me about the rest of your year. Do you have any goals set up for yourself? I know you have some big exhibitions happening and going on in Basel. And, is there anything that you want to do apart from just your routine and the travel that you have set up? Is there any learning or?
No, I'm just enjoying the moment. I
Lovely.
I work organized. I work organized every day, but also enjoy the day by day. And everything's happening so fast, right? So I cannot believe we're October already,
I
almost.
know
So yeah.
with that for sure. Um, well, we're going to open up to a Q&A. If anyone has any questions for Clara Renderfruit, you can add them in the little feed below. You can hit the little question mark button, and we will see those. I want to talk a little bit more about your dreams and how you, well, one, like integrating with AI, and two, like, um, expressing those kind of in your work. Is dream journaling something that you do like regularly? I guess that would be what it's called.
Yeah. I have because I my journal is on notes and in my laptop, and I have different hashtags to find different things between all my notes.
Mm,
So one of the hashtag is sueño, which is dreams in Spanish, and whenever I type sueño, I get all my dreams there. So those are like movies for me because I never remember
yeah.
them after a while. So I come back to my filmography there, and I'm happy because I used to have problems sleeping, like not anymore, but I've been like so many years of my life on benzos,
Mm,
and I just quit them, and I'm so happy I recovered my dreams because I was having chemical dreams. I had to take them, and I'm super grateful to science for that because I got to sleep and I recovered my brain functions and stuff. Uh, but I was going through a tough moment in my life. So the first thing I cut out is sleeping.
mm,
So I was having problems, and then I quit those and now, and I recover my natural dreaming, which is amazing because I have so much material. Also,
yeah.
I'm doing like shadow work, you know. So when you do shadow work in your life, it tends to come in dreams, like some maybe answers or triggers to reflect on come in dreams. So I'm super happy that I recovered that.
Mm,
It's
cool.
not too far ago. I think it's 4 months or something like that that I started sleeping by my by my own self.
Oh, amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm glad you're back there. I know
yeah,
it's such an interesting thing we our life doing it, and I feel like there's so much to harness there.
yeah.
But I'm glad you're back to it. Do you have dreams ever? Do you have like the same location or
No,
the situation?
well, there's it's not the same exact dreams, but there's always like giant waves,
Mm,
slow motion waves, which I adore to watch in YouTube whenever I found them, like it's there or on slow waves building up. You know, I love that sensation. But yeah, in dreams they seem catastrophic, so I'm not sure.
yeah,
But yeah, I always dreamed
cool.
about that.
Yeah, water in the ocean and waves is a scary one for me. It's like
Mm,
very powerful.
mm,
A lot of
yeah,
sure, for sure.
yeah. Mm.
Let's talk about client work for a second. Is there any like what is what's your favorite kind of client to work with? If you were to get hired for something, like what's your favorite kind of, I don't know, brief or type of client or anything that you've done that is like, stand out?
What we recently did for the application, the app for the
Mm,
app, was really nice to work with for me because that client was so open to whatever I come up with the idea. When whoever provides to me like a complete idea of what's the product about, like thoroughly detail things that they have in mind for that, but not visual. Even if you don't want to give me like visual references, I will appreciate that because and that you say like do your thing, you know. But very detailed, conceptually written thing for me, and work with it was amazing to work with these people, you know.
yeah.
She was so kind and so open, and yeah, there was this synergy between you guys, the team, me, and the client that worked really well there. So I really love that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. When there's enough of a creative brief to have direction, but enough like openness for, an artist to kind of create the work that they're good at creating. I think that was a great one for it. The brief was perfect for you, and there was like creative openness. Um,
Yeah.
or
And also when the client references my own work, I really appreciate that. Like, why did you choose me? Well, how did you relate? your idea with my work,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I know mood boards could be helpful, but then I don't understand where to put myself there. Oh, should I adapt to what I'm seeing? I don't always understand mood boards.
Yeah, I think that they can be harder to like pertain to your work at sometimes than
Yeah.
um but I think mood boards can be helpful for
Mm,
like direction, but interpreting that into like someone's specific style is tricky. Unless
mhm.
like pulling your own work.
Yeah.
Exactly. Um, what about the body of your work? We talked about bodies a little bit. Are the bodies really like reflective and self portraiture driven, or are they just general form, general body?
Um, I used to like the figures I work with are meant to be pretty genderless in general, but I could not say that for me they are completely genderless. It's just like I use the human figure like visually, right?
Mm,
I use it to immediately drive meaning, like you immediately know what I'm talking about there. It's just like very
mm,
literal, when you put a human there or humanoid, right? So you can, like, if you're deconstructing or deforming a human figure, you're just like doing that, like very literally. I am going to deform, like, and you're gonna maybe can relate. If I deform, like, I don't know, the belly, you probably will feel it in your body, right? So for me, it's like immediately a reference of meaning and feeling for the viewer. But that's why that's why I think it's useful to use like very figurative elements in your work to direct meaning.
mm.
Uh, you know, but yeah, it's a difficult one because I don't know. And the notion of the body I'm exploring is just like it's born from the idea that I had when I was a child, uh, before going to school, right? That when when you cross these inwards, everything is ether, like nothing, emptiness, dark, like nothing.
Mm.
I thought inside the body there was nothing,
Oh,
and then,
black space.
you know, emptiness,
Mm,
like the concept of emptiness was there. So imagine, like, when I was in school, I was like, how there's organs there? Where are they? How do you look? How do my organs look? Are they pink?
mm.
What colors? Like, so I with the same curiosity, I find the body and its functions like really beautiful to explore.
Yeah,
And from them.
that's really interesting. Yeah, picture a body that's like just totally like the universe inside, like nothing, but also
Yeah.
everything also, to
Yeah,
encapsulate that.
what I thought is just as soon as you cross this line in the skin, there's nothing.
Yeah,
Like
it's
nothing.
so funny. Just black.
Yeah, just
And
like
I love, yeah, I love that just as kind of like a concept, it's, because I could picture it as being like the universe, like outer space, like it's black, there's nothingness, it's void, but also that's like everything and like, so much possibility and so much, yeah,
everything.
it's not everything also.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love that. Um, Thank you everyone for joining us. There's like a lot of really cool commentary going on about just like the future and transhumanism and physics. And
I love
I
that.
work bringing a lot of this up, but yeah, thank you all for.
I haven't been reading, sorry. I haven't been reading the
Oh,
comments. I
it's
should have done that.
always interesting. wants to ask Clara a question directly, there's a little question mark button. Now is your chance. I will let.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm super interested
Yeah,
on what
maybe.
people have to say.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, is there anything else that you would want to share? Just, I don't know, in terms of your daily practice or, struggles that you've kind of overcome. I know that, everyone has their own personal struggles or kind of state of career and, how taking that jump was, because I know you haven't always, relied solely on your art, but yeah, any just kind of insights or things that you want to share, feel free.
Uh, I can say that on Sunday I'm going to a aquatic bio dance thing,
Cool.
and I'm super excited for that
Cool.
because we're gonna basically dance in the water, and I'm super excited for that. So that's gonna be Sunday, and then that's gonna be something that I incorporate
Yeah.
to my work, probably something that stimulates something in my, in my daily practice. So next week, maybe I will turn that into
Yeah.
art.
No, that sounds so for you. What is your typical day like? Do you usually get on the computer at some point or um
Yeah, depending on what moment. If I'm traveling, it's very
mm,
different. Which yeah, as you say, I'm traveling a lot. But if I'm here at home, I wake up too early, and just because I cannot sleep anymore. And but I love morning, so yeah, I do mate. This Argentinian thing we do, and it's not the bottle you guys have with a lot of sugar in it. It's just like a little thing, like wooden thing with a straw and the herb there and hot water and
yeah.
one after the other, right? Because it's so funny what mate is for everyone else.
Yeah.
And I have that for breakfast, and I'm here in my this very same desktop, watching to the garden, like writing and stuff. And as I was saying, going back and forth for the computer and organizing and emails and stuff, and my mornings and through the middle of the day are very in the mind, and then in the afternoons I go very like physical and go do my workouts and see friends and see my family, and everything start happening. Like there's two like really marked parts of my day, very different. Someone told me, because I love what biologists and some holistic scientific has to say. I have many friends that give me information about that, and someone said it's because like there's something chemical, that the explanation, like there's I don't know, I don't remember what mineral, maybe someone knows, there's in your mind, in your brain and in your body in the
Mm.
morning, that changed completely in the afternoon, and then it makes sense to be very physical in the night.
Yeah, I also know that like being um like absorbing information and then exporting kind of energy and information, like I think during the day is a good time to like put it out, and then at night is a good time to like take things in. Or maybe it was the
Yeah,
opposite,
makes sense.
reading versus being.
I mean, it makes sense for dreams because you're processing
Yeah,
everything, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then of course the processing happens. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you get on with your day, and I'm gonna get on with mine and everyone else. Thank you so much for it
Okay.
was about 50 minutes of render fruit
Oh
time,
wow.
and so much for, and I wanted to shout out again Fuck Renders Project. Is it lucidia.xyz
Yes, exactly. Levicidia with V,
with a V L
XYZ.
I
Yeah.
dot
Yeah,
xyz?
exactly.
Clara has some work available, and it's an amazing platform if you haven't checked it out yet. Um, And of course, if you don't already follow Render Fruit, give her a follow. And we'll look forward to seeing your upcoming shows and Basel and all kinds of stuff. And let me see if there's one final question here. I've seen Techno Shaman 001 with a lot of commentary. So we'll do one to close it out. Um,
Okay.
images can make us sick, they can heal us. How do we use art and technology to heal people, Clara?
Can you repeat it? Can you repeat it?
The overall question is, how do we use art and technology to heal people? If
I don't know how to do that.
images can heal us, how do we use art and technology to heal people? I think there's something in there about art therapy or light therapy, or like, is there a world or a way where we can use art and images like for therapeutic purposes, for therapy? And I'm
Oh,
sure I'm sure
yeah, I think maybe if you're an artist, you're already doing a good thing because you're having the courage to go inwards and work on yourself already, right? And to produce that. So I think it's noble already. But I know what he's asking or she's asking, but I don't have the, I don't have the answer to that. It's a really interesting question though.
yeah, I'm gonna say yes, it's possible. I'm also gonna say I'm not a scientist, but I can imagine that, well, I know this, like the visual input that you receive all day is having an effect on you.
Yes.
If looking at positive images and beautiful images and colors and stuff, that's going to have a huge effect on your mental and physical, rather than if you're like playing war video games and looking at gore. And
Yeah.
I think that just the input that you decide to have is going to have a huge effect on
Mhm.
you no matter what. So there could be a therapeutic practice in there where you go on a retreat and only look at beautiful visual art or nature also.
Yeah, of course. Neuroscience has so many answers for that, I think,
Yeah,
right? Super
I
interesting.
think that that's definitely something, and that's why people go on vacation and go on retreats and go to museums, for that input, for that positive input. I think that
And the guide is very singular to every human, right? To every person. The guide that guides you to go to certain exhibitions or to go out to the nature today, you constantly deciding, and that guidance is very particular.
yeah,
I love that. Yeah.
I agree with
Trust
that.
that.
Yeah. On that note, that was a really cool topic to end with. So thank you for that
Yeah.
insightful question. And Clara, of course, thank you as always for joining us. And stay tuned for exciting projects and exhibitions and work from Clara. And thank you everyone for joining us. We're going to save this so you can share it, watch it later. We'll put it up on Vimeo. We'll keep it in our in live reels. There's plus creative conversations category, so you can go back and watch it. But again, thank you everyone, and I will see you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.